All right, we are recording. Half of the year is already over, folks. It's crazy. July 5th. So I'm going to kick off this thing with a couple announcements here. First, I always like to go into the Coach Online office and look at the coach breaking news. If not every day, I go in there a couple times a week, not only to look at the breaking news, but also just, my own stuff. It's a good habit to get into, to go into that Coach Online office at least once a day, just to kind of see, if any new coaches have been added, if anyone's going inactive, and then also like the breaking news. So a couple things here. It already started on June 29th. So on June 29th, they offer the Shakeology and Portion Fix Challenge Pack. So for people that are already Beachbody On Demand customers, but they don't have Shakeology yet, they can get Shakeology and the Portion Fix containers for $130. So basically they get the Portion Fix containers for free. And those, if you bought them by themselves, would be, it's like $40, $39.90. So that started already. So you should have got an email from Beachbody that said all the list of customers you have that are Beachbody On Demand customers but don't have Shakeology yet. And then you can reach out to them to let them know that for $130 they can get a month of Shakeology and the Portion Fix containers. If they were to buy those things separately, it'd be like $170, but they can get both for $130 because they're BOD members, which is cool. Another announcement, the new credit card update self-service form. So if you have a credit card that gets lost or stolen or something, or you just want to change the credit card you have on file with Beachbody for your business fee or for any of your orders, you can do that online yourself now. You don't have to call Coach Relations and have them do it. You can go on and fix it yourself, which is cool. So if you just go to the frequently asked questions and type in new credit card update, you'll see a form that you can fill out to change that, which is so nice. Okay. So something to add to your calendar on July 19th. So that's the Wednesday. That's like 2 weeks from now. It's the Wednesday after Summit. There's going to be a live surge put on by corporate. So Wednesday, July 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be for about an hour. So whether you're going to be at Summit or you're not going to make it to Summit, you definitely want to make sure you're on that post-Summit live surge on July 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so here's another announcement. Starting in December of this year, the 10% discount that club members get, they're not going to have that anymore, which is kind of like, I always thought was like such a weird thing that they had that. It like makes people not want to sign up to be a coach that like for a discount coach, because the 10% discount and then the savings on the Shakeology was kind of similar to like signing up as a coach and getting your 25% discount. So now in December, they're going to get rid of that 10% discount, which I'm glad about because I thought that was such a weird thing. So now like all our people that are buying Shakeology, that are customers that are on Shakeology, it's going to be a no-brainer for them to sign up to be a coach and get that 25% discount on their Shakeology instead of thinking about, do I become a club member and do the 10%? Do I just stay as a customer? Do I do the coach at 25% discount? So now it's just like cut and dry starting in December. The best option hands down is become a coach, pay your $16 a month, and you're going to save $33 on your Shakeology every month. So that's cool. Starting in December, that's going to be the deal. No more of that club 10% discount thing. Team Beachbody Cup. So the Team Beachbody Cup, that's going to start in August. For you guys that have done it before, you guys know that it's a lot of fun and you want to hop on a team for that. For those of you that don't know what Team Cup is, it's something they do every quarter. So every 3 months they do this Team Cup thing where you get on a team of 5 coaches, you and then 4 others. And it's not like you have to do anything different than what you normally do as a coach. It's just if your team as a team of 5 gets a certain amount of Success Club points together, you get prizes. And there's different tiers of prizes as you guys accumulate more and more points. So it's not like a pressure thing where you're like, oh, I don't want to be on a team, so I don't want to let anybody down, or I'm already busy enough. Like everyone should be on a Team Cup team because it's just a great way to meet and connect with 4 other coaches a little bit closer than you have already. And if that doesn't convince you enough, the coaches that do Team Cup, they end up earning 16 times more than coaches that don't do Team Cup. So I don't know about you, but I'd like to earn 16 times more. I think that sounds pretty cool. And win some free prizes at the same time. So the Team Cup, I think the registration for that opens on July 13th, so next week. But you can start to think now, like reach out to your upline and be like, hey, I want to be on a Team Cup, and I like the idea of being a part of a little small group of 5 and push each other to do a little bit more in August and win some prizes. So start thinking about that now for the Team Cup that starts in August, because that's always a lot of fun. And I'm going to do some extra prizes just for Team Boom. Like whatever Team Cup team has the most points within Team Boom, I'm going to give that team some prizes in addition to the prizes they'll win through Beachbody. So it's a fun little thing. So that's that. Some quick recognition here for Success Club. When was our last call? Was on June 28th. So I'm going to read off just the final kind of the final Success Club 10 earners for June. And then the top 5 in June, I'm going to take to lunch. If you're in the top 5 and you're at Summit, if you're going to be at Summit, I'm going to take you out to lunch. And also, if for those people that are in the top 5 for July, by July 13th when Summit starts, if any of those people in the top 5 for July weren't part of the top 5 for the June people, then those people can come to the lunch too. So we'll have a good crew of. I like to do that every year at Summit, and we always have really good discussions and get to know each other a little bit better. All right, let me pull this up. So for the month of June, it's June 28th. Where's the last one? Okay, so this might not be totally official, but here's what I have for Success Club 10 earners for the month of June. We got Tara Van Vick. We got Stephanie Ryan, Kylie Winay, Celine Bacardi, Tiffany Gush, Priscilla Perry, Casey Bachlet, Kelly Marks, Jennifer Van Devoren, Danielle Hills, Ashley Dyer, Beth McDonald, Anne-Marie Vickers, Cassandra Schmelzinger, Lindsay Skiff at 16, Marie Sardelli at 16, Brooke Reed at 18, Ashley Phil Dyson 24, Emily Crushore 26, Caroline Nathan 34. I don't know if this is the official one for the end of June. I'll have to talk to Dennis about that. But it looks like the top 5 would be Caroline Nathan, Emily Crushore, Ashley Phil Dyson, Brooke Reed, and then there's a tie at the bottom between Marie Sardelli, Lindsay Skiff, and Cassandra Schmelzinger. So I'll talk to Dennis and figure out who the top 5 were. And they're going to be coming to lunch. And then also, again, like the people that are in the top 5 for July by the end of the day on the July 13th, if you're not part of that top 5 from June, you get to come to the lunch as well. So that'll be cool. All right. Last recognition before we hop in here. We got the week leg team volume from last week. So these are the coaches that had over 300 team volume points in their week leg. Kemi DeCiccio, Kim Kenny, Jenny Dollinger, Beth Grumman, Second Business Center, Stephanie Ryan, Elle Deal, Jennifer Alvarez, Megan Smiley, Katie Cargile. Went to high school with Katie. That's awesome. Valerie McCallum, Delaney Clesen, Elizabeth Grimes, Marilla Hurst, Suzanne Bell, Brittany Bain, Anne-Marie Vickers, Josh Morgan, Mary Beth Darling, Craig Schmidt, Brittany Dimmick, Nancy Nathan, and Caroline Nathan, Second Business Center, Dave Yakel, Melissa Hollenbeck, Alyssa DeBee, Brittany O, Allison Squires, Emily Bachlet, Jill Wagner, Michelle Katz, Emily Crushore, Andrea Wallace's Second Business Center, Lauren Kellum, Brittany Miller, Beth McDonald, Sydney Freeman, Sarah Olinsky, Pete Rillman, Margaret Mackerer, Nicoletta Sidowitz, just shy of 1,000. And then in the 1,000 club, we got Kelly Marks, Brooke Reed, Shauna Valenta, Carrie Steelman-Schmidt, Tyler Smith, which is Ashley Feld Dyson's boyfriend, Joe Policino, Michael Bachlet, which is Terry Bachlet's husband, I think, Caroline Nathan, or it's either her son. They're both Michael. Caroline Nathan, Gage Eckert, Stacy Slade, My Third Business Center. And the 2,000 club, we got Danielle Hills, Amy Roman, Second Business Center, Chris Bachlet, Maurice Sardelli, Charles Wallace, which is Andrea Wallace's husband, Robert Rodriguez, Ashley Feld-Dyson, and Wade Kephart. In the 3,000 club, we got Alyssa Sardelli and Amy Morgan. 5,000 club with over 5,000 team volume points in the week leg, we got Terry Bachlet, Amy Reelman, my second business center, and Michelle Phillips. In the 10,000 club, we got Andrea Wallace, myself, and my mom, Beth Reelman, killing it. All right, there is your recognition for the week. Cool. So, a lot of good announcements, a lot of recognition. Got Summit coming up in a week. I think a lot of people are flying in like a week from today. I know I'm flying in a week from today. Some people might be flying in Thursday, but I think Elite Night is on Wednesday, is a week from tonight on Wednesday, and then the official kickoff of Summit is Thursday next week. Can't believe it. It's crazy. It's like one of my favorite weekends of the year. We all get to be together live in person. So someone that I get to hang out with live in person from Team Boom, you might know her, is Delaney Clesen. I always say her name wrong, but I think I got it right. Is that right, Clesen? So Delaney, so one of my coaches is Danielle Hills, and I met Danielle at the beach playing some beach volleyball, and then Danielle signed up Delaney as one of her first coaches, and now Delaney is starting to build a team of her own and has become one of the kind of up-and-coming rising leaders on Team Boom. And it's fun because we all work together, right? But like Delaney and Danielle, I know they work together a lot, like in person. They go to Danielle's apartment and have like work dates, and I've joined in on that a few times, and Delaney's come over here and we've met at coffee shops. So it's cool because I get to see like the energy she brings to it, not just to the business, but to life. She's someone that is just, I don't know anyone that wouldn't want to spend time and be around her. She's just very positive, upbeat, always sees the positive in everything and everyone. And I like to sometimes call myself a delusional optimist. And I think that she's also sometimes a delusional optimist in a good way. Like I always like, she sees the half full glass in everything and everyone. So I love that about her. And that's why everyone's kind of starting to be attracted to her. And she's growing this great team of really positive, cool people. So I wanted to have her hop on here and just share a little bit about what she's been up to, what she kind of does on a day-to-day basis. It's going to be kind of informal, so you guys can type questions if you want. And I'm gonna kind of go along answering or asking some of the questions of her, and maybe I'll chime in with some stuff too. So let's start with, how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself, just kind of your background, kind of before Beachbody, and then kind of what attracted you to it.
Okay. So basically I've been an athlete my entire life. And then, and I played in college. I played 2 different sports for 5 years. And then I just felt completely lost after that structure, as a lot of athletes, whether you played in high school or college, and you take that part away from you and you're just kind of like, who am I? Like, what do I do? And no one was holding me accountable anymore. So it was really weird to figure out and do things on my own, nutritionally, workouts, and, everything's kind of been laid out for me. So last summer, I was going through that, and I was like, well, what do I do now? And I saw my coach, Danielle, who was an acquaintance really from the beach, just from playing. I saw her posting some workout videos on Instagram, and I just reached out to her because I was like, what are you doing? What is this kind of thing? And she just told me, and I was like, all right, let's go. I needed something to be a part of. And I think that was the biggest thing for me when you're on a team of women who you just spend all this time with, and then it's nothing. And I'm a very social person. I love being around other people. I love connecting with other people. So I was all for it. And, I dove right in basically. And after I was like, wow, lost 6-7 pounds, really leaned up, but I felt great being a part of the team. So that was my biggest thing. So, I joined her right away, and a couple months of, I like helping other people. This is holding me accountable. And then I just kind of had that mindset shift from personal development and decided to go all in. And, yeah, that's kind of like how I got started into Beachbody and everything last summer.
Cool. So before you became a coach, you did a challenge group. Was it one challenge group? Did you do two? Like, when did you like go from I want to do the workouts to I want to be a coach? Like, how much time kind of went by, and what happened in that span?
Honestly, it happened right away. I did my challenge group in July, and then, I remember Danielle being like, oh, like, you're being such a leader in the group. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And I was like, yeah, like, I feel like I'm on my team again and that I'm a part of this. And so I just, I was one of those people who was just not skeptical whatsoever. And I just like dove in. And that's kind of like how I do a lot of things in life. And I just like went at it full force. I just didn't think how big of a part of my life it was going to be.
Awesome. In Danielle's challenge group, do you remember, like, what is there anything that happened or any like kind of flow to the challenge group that you loved so much that made you want to give that experience to other people, that you are now kind of doing those things? Like, or like, I guess what stood out to you most about the challenge group that made you fall in love with it so much that you wanted to start giving that experience to others?
I think it was just like the daily accountability. I just think the idea of the accountability, because that's what I was missing so much of. And I like couldn't get myself out of bed. I was just being lazy and like, and so then I just saw that everyone, was commenting, I did this, I did my workout, and the competitiveness in me, the athlete in me was like, if everyone else is doing theirs, I'm doing mine. Like, no, like, I'm not going to be the one who's isn't a part of it, is slacking off. Like, I want I want to be a part of it. I'm not gonna, it's just the competitiveness that kind of came out.
Yeah. Awesome. What did Danielle do to create the accountability, and what I guess what do you do now to kind of create that accountability for your people?
Like, Danielle's always been big with incentives and like prizes, and I've carried that on a bit. And everyone likes winning a free t-shirt, or I don't know, being that one who was 7 for 7. So I think incentives are a good thing, and just that, that recognition and not forgetting that piece. That's super important, just making someone feel special.
Yeah. So you have people in your challenge groups like comment each day that they did their workout, and you keep track of that, and you post like a recognition photo each day, and then everyone kind of shoots to go 7 for 7 during the week. And then, like, how often do you give out incentives to people, and like, what are those incentives? Like, some examples of them.
It's kind of changed with me a little bit, trying out new stuff, but I've done some, a 7 for 7 with like the Darren Daily and the workouts, and like give them like a Beachbody performance line. But what I'm doing for June is, I'm having like a June Challenger of the month, and I did my groups on the app. And so I just kind of, I have everyone like submit obviously their before and after pictures on the app, and I'll go and see, and, they say their weight loss and inches, and look at kind of what their participation's been like. And then I chose a Challenger of the month, and then I'm going to send them this, like, I don't know, this like graphic t-shirt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, cool. So I got like a kind of a structure of how I want to go through this with the questions. We always talk about, like, there's kind of two parts of the business, like the mindset piece and then like the simple skills piece. And I think you and Danielle do a good job of like breaking those two things apart for your team, for your new coaches. So let's start with like the mindset piece. And so what are like some of your, I guess, like, what do you do for personal development? Like, are you a book person? Are you an audio book person? Is it YouTube? Like, what does that kind of look like for you? And how big of like an impact has personal development had on your business and just on you in general?
So I like to do a personal development that's kind of like structured to me specifically, and like what I'm struggling with as a person, not necessarily like business. So, I'll do one of that, and like right now I'm doing this 50 Ways to Yay, and it's just like a super simple book that's for me, and it like talks about implementing each little like personal development piece. But then I also do almost more of like a professional development, and I have a business book a month. So, I just finished like the compound effect. So I have a book that's like centered on how to like help me and grow in my business. And obviously it is, personal development, but then I like having one that's, more for me. I think it's like kind of good to have two different things, because if you just keep reading, like business, and I think it's important to have that balance in your personal development. But that's like, it's made a huge change in my life. And I've seen it in other people and in my challengers and in my coaches. So even seeing that change with personal development before I even see their like physical transformation, like that's the most satisfying to me. So those are like, that's what I want to implement the most in my groups and with my coaches, because it's had, this impact on my life of just confidence and being a badass and like not giving a fuck what other people think about you.
I like that. And I've noticed that, like, I noticed like the coaches that the personal development piece is like super interwoven into not only like themselves personally, but in their challenge groups for their, maybe it's just a free group or their challenge groups or their coaches. It's just like such a deep rooted culture within themselves and in their teams and the people they're working with. They're the ones having the most success, because I think it's the number one vital behavior. And it sounds like you believe that too. It's kind of like the foundation of everything, which is really cool. So, okay. So you got your personal development, you got your professional personal development. You're like obviously hitting that on yourself, and that's like the thing that you're trying to implement with the people you're working with, more than even the fitness and nutrition aspect, which is, I think, so key. Okay. Talk a little bit about, that's the first vital behavior. The second vital behavior is be proof the products work. Like, how important do you think that is for yourself and then for like some of your new coaches?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something you hear every like top coach and other people say, stay in phase one, focus on the health and fitness journey, like no matter what. And I mean, I don't know, it's just sometimes you can be off with things, but it's just the fact of like showing up every day for yourself, because, and for me, that's how this started. Like for me, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to hold myself accountable. Just like with workouts and nutrition. So I don't know, it is really important. That's something that comes a little bit easier to me, just in the sense of that's been something that's structured in my life. Like, and I really enjoy working out, and I enjoy like putting like everything I have into a workout. So that part isn't too like, it comes more natural to me, but definitely the nutrition and everything it's been a learning process with the nutrition. But I think something that we do to implement that idea with our new coaches is in our like training, we have them stay in phase one by always like posting their workouts and just like reiterating that this is the most important thing. This is your body is your billboard, but my team is filled with a lot of people who are obsessed with working out, so that helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right. Sticking with like big picture. If you were sitting here at my like kitchen table here and we were talking about your why and your why list, and then I said to you, okay, big picture, like what has to happen in order for you to hit everything on that why list? In like 2 words, what would you say?
Stay consistent.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you stay consistent long enough, eventually, like what has to happen for your business to like get to the point where you're going to achieve everything on the why list? Developing leaders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, when we talk about this all the time, right? Like your thing is you want to find people that are just like you, that people that love personal development as much as you, that love the workouts as much as you, that want to impact other people's lives as much as you. You want to, find that like handful of leaders that want to run with you on this thing. So the other thing we always talk about is, okay, like what needs to happen? What kind of fuel do you need to stick with this long enough to attract those kind of people? And so we talk about 2 things, like your why and then your like belief in yourself. So why don't you share with us like kind of what your why looks like?
Okay. So my why basically, started this because I want to play professional volleyball. And I think that having a business that would support that dream and like having a job that, you know, gives me the freedom and the flexibility to move abroad or live wherever I want and achieve my goals. So that's kind of how I started it. But at first I was like, oh, this is like a vehicle that'll like help me, you know, achieve my goal. And now I'm just kind of through personal development, through seeing my team succeed and this like success that's happened over this last like 11 months, I know that my big picture has like grown. And I'm like, this isn't just a vehicle. Like, I want to be doing this for the rest of my life, and I want to be a professional athlete. Like, and I can have both because this allows that to happen. It is. But I think two things that have really changed in the past couple months with that is posting about your why. And I think like that was the first. And the second one is with posting, talking to your tribe. So with posting about your why, for some reason, like I could take pictures, you know, of me working out and me being silly dancing, but posting about why I'm doing this was like super uncomfortable. And the only people who really knew my goals of why I'm even doing Beachbody was my team and my parents. And I'm just kind of like, all right, I need to, even though I'm a newer coach, I need to act like I'm going to be there because I know I'm going to be there. But I need to post about it and tell people that even though I'm not. So my thing was, oh, people post about doing this, this, and that, but I'm not quite there yet. I just, through personal development and through this like past couple months, you just got to post it anyway. So for me, I post like, so happy I have a job that allows me to go to, you know, I'm in Pittsburgh right now, to be in Pittsburgh for a week training to play volleyball. I talk about how Beachbody is this, I use my Beachbody money as my dream account. Like this job is helping me fulfill my dreams, but I'm not telling anybody that. Like you have to tell people. And it's funny because it follows. As soon as I started posting about it, I'm getting messages like, oh, can you really do that? Can you blah, blah, blah? And guess who they're from? They're from people that are my tribe. So how do you find people that are your tribe? When you post, you talk about them. You talk to them. And I was so afraid. And like, that was that fear for me posting. Because what happens if I don't make it? I don't become this professional athlete. Then I look stupid on social media. Like that's what I'm telling myself. But as soon as I started to post about it, I had people reach out to me. I had 3 discount coaches become business builders last month because they were like, oh, I didn't really see that there was this opportunity. So now it's growing like crazy because I'm telling people why I'm doing it. So 2 years from now, I can look back and be like, yeah, I talked about this since day one, and now it's here.
Boom. I love it. One thing you're really good at, I notice, is not only do you do a great job of like sharing your why and all the different parts of your why and your why list, but you also like meet people where they're at when you're talking to them. So like maybe you're not where you want to be. You have this big why, you're not there yet. So you'll talk about that and how exciting that is, but you'll also talk about kind of where you're at now or where you might have been and maybe why you didn't like that or currently don't love the situation. So you're connecting with those people where they're at, and they're able to trust you and they can feel that and connect with you on that level. And then now you're showing them like an opportunity to go to another place and showing them how to get there. And because you built the trust, because you connected and talked about the stuff that you don't love about your past or present, they're trusting you to go and maybe jump on board with you and ride with you into that next phase, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that you also, instead of calling like your account, your bank account where your Beachbody money goes, you call it, instead of a bank account, like your dream account. You're like, I'm going to use my dream account to pay for this. Even if it's not like a ton of money, but it's cool. I like that a lot. Okay. So how about like, I think another thing first, there's 2 things that coaches need to get that fuel to be able to show up the way you're showing up. The first is like they have a big, powerful why, and we kind of talked about that. And I think people sometimes, like you said, they're afraid to make that why because they're afraid that they're going to fail. They're afraid they're going to look stupid. So I guess, what would you tell someone that like has a dream, maybe not to be a professional athlete, but like something that is really big and something that really means a lot to them, but they're like afraid that it's too far off, and they're afraid that if they put themselves out there that they might not hit it and they might look silly?
I mean, I kind of would just, I don't know. You say this all the time. It's, do you want to be there? Do you want to be in the same place a year from now? Like, I talk a lot about are you really like content with where you're at? Like, is this my biggest fear as a person? And this is what I share with my coaches and friends, is not reaching my full potential. And whatever that dream is, like, are you going to be okay? Like, what would happen if you don't reach it? Like, and I just kind of like ask them those types of questions. Like, is this really enough for you? And I'm kind of that like shoot for the stars kind of like risk taker. And I mean, even if the person that I'm talking with isn't, I will, I'll ask those questions, ask the big questions. And I mean, then they just really gets them to start thinking about it. And then personal development.
Yeah. I love the term, like, I think it was Eric Worre that said that to me one time, was like delusional optimist. You're like a delusional optimist. And that, like, to me means like you set goals that like to most people would be like, that you're like delusional, dude. Like, you're not positive or optimistic. Like, you're delusional. That's not going to happen. And here's like the thing though, if you set like a goal that's like almost delusionally optimistic, if you work your butt off to get it, even if you don't get it, you're going to be so much farther along than if you never set that goal at all. So to me, a goal is not something you set to hit. A goal is something that you set to reach. A goal is something you set to stretch. It's not something that you hit. If you set a goal that you can hit as the person you are today, that's not a good goal. You got to set goals that the person you are today can't hit. It forces you to become a better version of yourself. And just like you said, so cool. I love that. So, all right, that's kind of that belief aspect. And then like, actually it's more the why. So then like the belief that comes, like the understanding of, hey, like I might not hit exactly what my goals are. I might be a little delusional with this, but there's two options. One, I go for it and maybe come short, but still move somewhere. Or two, I'm in the same place in 2 years that I am today. And that, to me, like you said, that's the scariest. That's my biggest fear too, is to not try to push to hit my full potential. So I love that you said that. That's way bigger fear than failing. Okay, belief. So when I'm talking to a coach about like the belief in the business, I always say like, okay, I love your why. It's huge. It's big. Like, we're stretching. That's awesome. So the way you're gonna hit everything on that why list is to find those 2 or 3 leaders that really want to do this with you. And then, once they kind of understand that, then I kind of reverse engineer it and I show them kind of what it's going to take to find those leaders. All right, leaders are probably going to be people that come out of your challenge group, because they're going to be people that love the products. And then how do you get people into your challenge group? You're going to have to stay consistent for a while before people are going to say yes. So have you noticed that? Like, have you noticed that people are going to say no at first a lot of times and then watch for a while before they say yes? Is it like kind of like the escalator thing where you're running full speed and people are kind of watching, but they're not saying yes as fast as you want? And then they're stuck. Because you've been a coach now for a year.
Almost, yeah.
Almost a year. Have you noticed that at all? Like that sometimes maybe as a new coach, you think that people are going to say yes right away, but it takes time for them to watch you and get comfortable enough to jump on board?
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of always telling your new coaches that like right away, not ever, like for me, I was so easy to just jump on board, but so many people aren't like that. So many people, like, they need to watch. They're skeptical. They ask questions. They're not just going to jump on board to stuff. So I tell my coaches, like, you're probably going to get a lot of no's, but that's okay. You like think about for asking you and how long it took you to join, the smart ones. I mean, they're going to take time. And I'm at the point now where like these past couple of months, all these people are saying yes that said no to me in the fall, because I'm still here. I'm still doing this, and seeing those people, like having them join me now, it's great. Like, I don't mind waiting. Like, we just developed a stronger friendship. And that's why I don't like, that's fine with me. If you're going to say no, that's okay. But they need to watch. And what I've learned a lot, like with my tribe and whatever, whatever your tribe is, but with athletes and stuff like that, they're super skeptical to, home workouts, or I have a lot of friends who are personal trainers. Like, I'm finding all these objections, but then you learn once you are getting these no's from multiple people, how to kind of turn the conversation. Then I just focus on the community and the goal setting. If someone, and the accountability, if they're saying, oh, I think I'm fine with workouts, or I have a lot of people that are like, well, I don't want to just do beach body workouts. I'm like, you don't have to. I play beach volleyball every day. So kind of catering those conversations as you learn. But yeah, you just go for no,
I think that's such a huge, that separates coaches big time. What their thoughts are, or what beliefs they have attached to hearing the word no. Like, I think people that are successful, they go out and try to get as many no's as possible. And I think coaches that struggle are trying to avoid no's. And you said no's are a good thing. Like, you have that mindset of no is a good thing because you've planted a seed, and now they're going to watch you a lot closer now.
Yeah, and now it's like I've seen that, like, everyone said that once I first started coaching, now they'll watch you, but and now for me it's actually, and that's why all this belief is so strong for me right now, because the things that all my coaches and upline and you and Danielle said to me last year, it's now starting to happen.
Yeah, see, it's truth, all truth. It's hard to see that until you get to experience it, but then once you experience it and you stayed consistent long enough and you see these people start coming around after a few months, you're like, all right, I get this. Now let's keep going. No. Okay, cool. So we talked about the big picture, like finding those leaders, staying consistent, the personal development piece, that strong why, how to share that why. So I guess this will tie into the skills aspect of the business, because kind of that first skill what we talk about is posting. So you kind of started to talk a little bit about it, but what do you want to share with them about your posting schedule, or just tips you have about that you share with your coaches about the whole posting on social media?
Yeah. I mean, I've tried so many different things, I feel like, and planning it out a month in advance, or doing how many, everything's been trial and error. But what I've just come to learn is that it's just, you need to ask yourself before you hit post, am I adding value? And so if that means you're posting 2 times a day, there was a point where I was posting 4 times a day. And then I just kind of slowed down, because would I want to be seeing this? How am I adding value? And I mean, I know that's something that we say a lot, but no matter if you have a scheduled post or what kind of post, at the end of the day, simplify it. Are you adding value? And again, just the quality, talking to your tribe. Am I just talking to talk to people? But no, I want to make sure that I know who I'm talking to. So something that we do on our team is, in our training, is kind of creating this avatar, and it's the things that make you you. And whatever that is for you, me, I volleyball, beach bum, live music, things that kind of make up me, and that's what I'm going to post about. So it's just kind of, we have all of our new coaches do that, create this avatar that's them, and just making sure you're talking to that person before Beachbody all the time. Am I talking to a young 20-year-old who's sitting at a desk job, who used to be an athlete and doesn't feel great about themselves? That's who I think about. Someone who wants to tone up, and everyone else is different. You just need to clarify that and define it for yourself. And then think about it. Am I posting to that person every time you post? You need to talk to them specifically.
I love that. I think that's something that, if for those that have what's that Haley Christian, gangster, what's the gangster thing she does?
Drop connections.
Yeah, how people have that, or don't be a bitch, hit send. They have it in a Post-it note. I think having a Post-it note on your computer that you look at before you hit post every time that says, Am I adding value? Am I talking to my tribe? I think that's such a great reminder to put like as like a pop-up on your phone, as in your calendar, or as a post-it note by your computer every time before you hit post. Am I adding value? Am I talking to my tribe? Instead of just posting the post, like instead of being like, I got to post 3 times a day because that's what they say to do, like actually add value, actually talk to the people you want to talk to. That's
I think the point with that is like, you get to pick the people who you work with. And like, you essentially get to pick your best friends. So I want to make it super clear that like, this is the kind of person I am, and see who, and when you're finding people, you want to find that. You get to pick who you work with. You get to pick that. So you want to make sure your tribe is clear and defined, and you're not just trying to like grab anyone who wants a challenge pack. I know I've just learned that it's, instead of going for all these like really high numbers and like random people that might fall off and all these discount coaches, like I'd so much rather spend time with people that like I can hang out with. And like now my coach, I'm her bridesmaid at her wedding. Like I want people that are going to be my best friends for like the rest of this. So if it takes a little bit more time to find them, if it's few of them, fine.
Then it doesn't feel like work. Then it just feels like, how am I like getting paid to hang out and help my best friends? This is weird.
Yeah.
That's cool. Weird. I love that. Awesome. All right. So you say like about kind of like twice a day, and you're always making like it's not like a set thing, but around like once or twice a day, always trying to make sure you're adding value, always trying to make sure you're talking to like the people you really want to surround yourself with, your tribe, your avatar. I think we covered a lot on that posting thing. We can move on to the next skill, unless you had anything else, like as far as like a schedule you follow, or as for posting, or.
I mean, I kind of like see what other people are doing, what's working for other people, like with the engagements, what everyone was talking about on the couple calls ago with what they learned from the Josh Coates training. Like, I think that's good, getting an idea of that, but it's got to be different for everyone.
Cool. All right. So that's skill number 1, posting with a purpose. So the next skill is finding and connecting with new people. So finding new people to connect with. How do you do that? Where do you go? Like, where do you go to find new people? Like, do people just come to you? Are you like actively going to find people? Like, what does that kind of look like, that second skill?
Yeah, this is something I tell a lot of my new coaches. I'm like, yeah, sure, you'll get a lot of feedback off your coming out as a coach post and your transformation, but like a couple months later, sometimes they just stop messaging you. And that's definitely happened with me. So I am just, again, looking for my tribe, this specific tunnel vision search. So anyone that I ever played a sport with, people that, we've done, so I'll go through my friends, and I go through their friends list and look at mutual friends. I'm in different, any volleyball group team stuff. One of my big things, with volleyball, I find that people just that I'm with on the beach. I think that one thing Danielle and I we're going to start doing this, is like the events near you, just start going to those events and finding out people that are going to those events. Like, oh, maybe you have a mutual friend. Maybe they're just going to, a local festival in your town. So I know that's something that we are going to start doing, but really just in the different situations I'm in with volleyball, or if I'm, at school, just finding a way to start talking about it. And it's gotten easier as it's gone on, but I would say I do add people every day, and I'm talking with them, but I'm still going through warm market because I'm friends of friends. And if someone sees 5 mutual friends, are accept, and we start talking.
Okay, cool. What do you think is the main way you're adding new people, finding new people?
The main way is still, again, friends of friends from but I don't know them, but I would know them. So for beach, let's say someone that plays beach volleyball at this one school, and we played against them a bunch. I had everyone on their team, and like then they're friends. So that's just, I think it's find your thing, whatever it is, and just get into those groups, just friend those people.
Cool. So you just send a friend request and then you don't message them. You wait to see if they accept.
Yeah. When they accept it, I'll message them like the next day. I have a whole process, but I'll message them and, something simple. Like hey girl, thanks for, accepting my friend request. I saw that you play beach volleyball. Where did you play? Or, what beach do you play at? So say something, or I'd love to connect and then ask a question about something on their page.
Cool.
But I just make sure, again, like quality, I make sure it's someone that I'd actually want to be friends with.
Awesome. Cool. So skill 1, we got posting. Skill 2, we got finding new people. Skill 3 is the inviting. So you're posting, people are kind of seeing what you're doing. You're connecting with new people that you got more eyes on your journey that are watching what you're doing. How do you go about inviting? And, do you invite to a challenge group right away? Do you invite to like a free group? What does that kind of look like?
So with inviting, so different on, sorry.
It's different each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So with inviting, I start with building the connection always at first. And, so it'll come from like someone liking my post, and I try to invite like a 1 week to 2 weeks later. But there was a point last month where I was just inviting all to my clean eating group. And I started this free group, and that's a lifestyle group. And I was inviting everyone in that just to get them into the group and for them to see. And then we did a 5-day clean eating, and then they all stayed in this group, and we had like continuous threads with my coaches. But I mean, I always build, I don't like do cold invites on Instagram. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll say something like, are you on a health and fitness journey too? And then I'll ask them if they want to hear about my challenge group right away. I think on Instagram, it could be a little different, but I mostly just try to build the connection first, whether it's about health and fitness, before I invite.
Cool. So you think you invite more to like the free group, like your free kind of ongoing lifestyle group, or like your monthly free clean eating group or anything like that, and then you'd go to the challenge group kind of after they've been through that?
That's what I've been doing. Yeah. I tried that out, and it's been working pretty well for me. Just because it's, giving them something free before they buy it. I don't know. I was just getting so many no's for a while that I was like, I want to mix this up. So let's give them something free. Did a really intense free group, and now I'm thinking of other challenges I'll do in this group, and it's so interactive. It's like this booming free group that is just like a community, because I talked with my coaches and I was like, let's build a community and where people can post, and it's not just me posting every day. And that's what I think is really great about it. Everyone is free to post there, but there is a structured daily thread. So I build and nurture that relationship in there. And then we'll do subtle things, like we talk about Shakeology, or I'll post a picture with containers, or, I have some people in there doing the free trial, but it's really to just build that relationship. And then I keep inviting or following up. And if they don't want to do the paid group or whatever, we just keep them in my lifestyle group.
Awesome. I remember you telling me for each day of the week, there's a different theme. Do you what are some of the themes you guys do each day of the week?
So it's Mindset Monday, and I have a coach who's super into mindset, personal development. So she owned that. And we do I think Truthful Tuesday.
And so each day is a different theme, and there's a different coach that posts it each
Yes.
day. Okay. So everyone someone has Monday, and they always post about mindset on that Monday. And then another coach always has Tuesday, and they always post about something truthful or ask a question, right?
Yeah. So how I set this up with my coaches was just in a little group message, and I was here for the free group, we're going to have a daily thread, and it's going to be this, Mondays are always going to be this, Tuesday always going to be this, that's what we're going to do. So if you want to pick one day, something that you're passionate about, and then everyone just picked a day. So I have Mindset Monday, Truthful Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Feel Good Friday, Superfood Saturday, and Self-Love Sunday.
Nice. What does a superfood Saturday look like? You focus on like one superfood from Shakeology?
Yeah, one my coach does it, just one superfood, and it's really, and then they'll ask a question like, what do you like to make with this or something? We get a lot of like feedback on it, or, people, they'll always comment what they like or new recipes. So it like keeps it fresh. I even add people in my challenge group into this lifestyle group because it's so beneficial with like.
It's free for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now they're a part of a community for nothing, for free. You're giving them something for nothing. They're getting awesome stuff. Like they're getting mindset stuff. They're getting intentional living. They're getting workout tips. They're getting tips about superfoods. They're getting so many things for nothing. And they're getting to like see what you and your coaches and your community is all about.
Yeah.
And then maybe they're ready for like the next step to commit to like a real challenge group with an all access challenge pack.
Yeah.
So does it feel a lot easier to invite someone to like a real challenge group with a challenge pack that has been in the free group for a while?
Yeah. And I've just noticed that if I get price objections, I'm just like, oh, well, I have this group, like, if price is an issue for anyone, I just try to cater to their needs. So, and I'll keep track of the people that participate a lot in this free group and keeping the communication with that person. And then it's like that transition, of you're doing a really great job in the free group. Like, have you tried the 14-day trial? Have you tried the Beachbody workouts? Or they'll ask about it because other people post about it, and all my coaches are posting about it too. But it's not like too much. It's like, do whatever workout you want. But as I follow up, I'm just kind of like, you're doing a really great job. Like, would you want to be in a more intimate, structured group? So like that's kind of with that inviting that happens from there. But just so many, it's like building that trust for me. I think like so many people are willing to say yes after we've done all of this.
Yes.
Helping them,
100%. I can't agree with you more. Like looking back at like when I first started building my business, the thing that had probably the biggest impact was the free group, the trust, the community it created. And then so when I asked people about coaching or about trying the products, like you said, it was like, you're already like doing a great job in the group. Have you ever like thought about trying this? They were like, it bridges the gap between like a customer and a coach, because I think a lot of customers, they're not really sure what a coach is, but if they're in the group and they're participating and encouraging the other people, they're already starting to do a lot of the things a coach does. So that gap that they perceive gets smaller. So it's less of a leap for them to go from what they're already doing to actually being a coach.
And I'm just getting more quality people. And the fact that I'm like building these relationships and becoming good friends, and like now they're wanting to be coaches. They're like, wow, like I love this. An important thing for me is for the person to fall in love with the group, because I can't, like, I don't make the workouts, I don't make their nutrition, like, but seeing the impact that I've had like with this group, and like that's the most important to me. I wanted to be on a team. I wanted to be a part of something. And I think, and like the connection and like the need to connect and just like relate to someone. So I think that's where I'm finding like really good challengers, and I'm finding really good coaches.
The community.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So we got number 1, the posting. Number 2, finding new people. 3 is the inviting. And inviting to a free group you're doing, and then from the free group you're inviting into them to try a 14-day trial or try an all-access challenge pack. And then so the 4th skill is giving people like an amazing experience. You already talked a little bit about that. And then the 5th skill is then introducing people to the coaching opportunity. So how I get like, I know that you've had like, I think at least one coach I know of, Claire, that like came to you and was like, hey, I want to be a coach. And it sounds like through your posting, you're getting discount coaches that are seeing you post about like what this is doing for you and how excited you are, that are now they're like, I want to be a business builder. I want to do this too. But how do you, like, if you see someone on social media or in one of your free group or challenge group, like how do you invite them to take a look at coaching?
Well, first I won't have, okay, if it's just with, so example with Claire, she said that I won't sign up a coach just like right away. Like we'll do it. They have to go through a challenge group. So, and I think that has just been really great in that sense. But even having, people that are in my challenge group, obviously I'll start with, you can be a discount coach, blah, blah, blah. But to get the discount, but I think the biggest difference has been the sneak peeks. And we've been like with our team, like we've been messing around with how we do our sneak peeks. But I think just in taking that time to invite to a sneak peek and just be like, and I keep it super casual. I'll be like, hey, like I'm having this group. It just kind of talks about what I do as a coach and super informal. You don't have to do anything. It's like 3 days. Would you want to check it out? There's just me some videos. And they're like, yeah, sure. And yeah, and then exactly. And then I just follow up with them. I literally just, at the last day of the group, I'm like, hey, did you get a chance to like check out the videos? What did you think? And I've had a couple people who have been like, I thought not a chance, that they probably wouldn't even look at it. Then they're like, yeah, this seems like really doable. Like, can we talk a little bit more about it? So I think it's just taking that time, like, and I'll count my invites too. Yeah, I'm writing down like, all right, let's invite 10 people today to go to the coach sneak peek. But yeah, and inviting those people who liked my coaching opportunity post. So when I message them, it's a completely different message than if it's about a challenge group, even though we start with the challenge group.
And you do a sneak peek once a month.
Yeah. Now, yeah, yes, once a month.
And it's like a three-day thing, or? Yeah.
And we've been doing it like all videos, and I like that a little bit more.
Like live videos.
Yeah. And just having, the first day, like coaches hop on whenever, they just give like a little, like going live at blah, blah, blah to talk about this with their like transformation photo.
Right.
So then it's, and you're not just hopping on, but now people are like, oh, this is going to happen at this time. Like, oh, be sure to be on. And then talking about, what a coach is not, talking about daily tasks and just kind of like stuff like that. But we keep it short and simple.
Awesome.
And then you can answer any more questions after. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Does anyone have any questions? I was just looking at my notes. Like the one thing I wrote was how you like focus so much on community. Not only like you focus so much on community, like when you're just looking to connect with people, you're like looking for people that you would like to have be a part of your community. And then you reach out to those people. So and then when you're posting, you're focused on the people you want to be a part of your community. And then in your community, you put so much effort into like making it a really great community. And I really think that's, from afar, like kind of watching it, really just, I feel like it's the foundation of your business, is like the community that you've created, and the people you want to be a part of that community are really, kind of drawn to it. It's awesome. I love that. All right. So does anyone have any questions? We covered a lot. I think we covered everything.
Yeah,
we hit the mindset, like the big being patient. We talked about being patient. People need to watch for a while. We talked about your why. We talked about like the belief of, hey, if I look stupid and I don't hit this, at least I'm not going to be in the same place I am today, because that is way more scarier than falling on my face trying. Because at least if you fall on your face trying, you've advanced and you've gone somewhere besides being stuck. We talked about posting. We talked about posting about your why, so that you attract people that have those same dreams. Your dream account, I think you called it, was your bank account. We talked about where to go to find new people, like the avatar people you're looking for. We talked about how to invite people to a free group and give them that something for nothing, a lot of value for nothing. And then that leads into 14-day trial or a challenge pack within the challenge group. We talked about how to give people a great experience in that and create that community. And we talked about how to introduce people to coaching. All great stuff. Simple business, right? It's just so simple. So simple. We do a great job of overcomplicating it, but it's that. Okay, so we got a question from Taylor. What's your favorite PD book, professional and personal?
I think professional. Okay, I'm gonna go with Compound Effect for basic. For professional, but that's helped me see the big picture. So I like a lot of these professional development books, but I think that one has just really helped me with the belief and the confidence of that big picture, for sure. And then
the Compound Effect, huh? Because why? Because the compound. Like, what was your top takeaway from that book?
Just the fact, because I've always struggled with consistency, and I think it's just the little things you do every day adding up to those big changes. And just like the examples he used, and just like once I got that idea in my head, it's like you just got to do a little bit every day. Just keep trucking, and it just will add up. So I think that was really one of the biggest things. Yeah. And then personal, I love You're a Badass. I give that like to all my like new coaches, and just because I think it's so important to start with that like confidence part. And I think that really gave me that wake up call of like, like, am I okay with my life? Like, I thought I was going on and my life is great. I love it. But like, it really made me question like that I want more. It made me start to like think about that more. But
so we got Compound Effect and You Are a Badass. So you got the compound effect working for you, and because the compound effect can work against you too. Like if you're not doing anything, that little stuff that you're like, oh, it's not a big deal if I skip a couple days, but then that you can't see that it's working against you, but it is. Right. Same when you actually are doing those little things every day, you can't see it's working for you.
Yeah.
But it is. And you end up seeing the benefit, the either the good or the bad, down the road. So we got, and then You're a Badass talks about like connecting and plugging into that source energy, which I love.
Yeah.
Okay, so summer is here and I'm absolutely ready to kill it with my fitness.
No, Pat, no, stop.
What?
That was my mistake. Go down to my next question.
Oh, shoot. Ignore that last one. Have you ever had people not like something happening in your group and for that reason wanting to leave, i.e. they didn't like Darren Daly? And how do you deal with it?
Okay, so I've kind of like, I'm always changing things up in my group. And it's like, I think I'm always been like that, but my group has never been the same ever since I've been a coach. So right now I'm on the Challenge Tracker app, and what I have that people, I got rid of Darren Daly just because like, I just got rid of it. I think I had a lot of ultimate challengers and I think they got a little tired of it. So I had one of my coach who loves mindset. She does a personal development like every evening. She does that like personal development. So I think people like hearing it from her. So that's kind of how I've mixed up with Darren Daly. And I would just say, I mean, I haven't had someone wanting to leave, but I've had people that just stopped like being active. So I just like reach out to them individually, and then I just ask like, what do you need more of? Do you need more like recipes and like meal prep tips? Do you need more mindset stuff? I think it's always important to ask your group, even in the free group, like, what do you guys want to hear more of? But yeah, I think just always kind of mixing it up, or else things get stale.
Cool. That's awesome. I think that's a really great tip, asking them like what they want more of, and then like delivering on that. Question from Joanne. How do you handle objection from fitness professionals or personal trainers or people who already are going to the gym or have a trainer?
So that's kind of where I've been like struggling lately. And then I just focus on the community and the team and the accountability and getting them into like my lifestyle group. I don't even call it a free group. I call it my lifestyle group. And so then they can just fall in love with that and the accountability and like the friends and the recipes and nutrition. So that's kind of like what I've been doing with that. Or I'll cater my post to that. But I've had a lot of people are like, I'm in a good workout routine. But sometimes people just at one point they'll need it and then they're in that free group already. So it's like, oh, okay. But that's why I put the emphasis on like the accountability and the community to try to help them in that way.
Right. Cool. Yeah. And they can get in there for free.
Exactly.
Even if they already have their own routine.
Yeah.
Very cool. So for your free group, it's ongoing, but you run a mini challenge groups each month that are not ongoing?
So my free group's the lifestyle group's ongoing. I'm going to do like a clean eating once a month in that group. So I just like tell my coaches, I'm like, all right, like we plan when we're going to do the free group and then we stop with the daily posts like for that 5-day period or whatever. And then just the daily posts are just for, the interactiveness. And it's not just like what was your workout and a straight accountability. It's always different. But we'll only do like a challenge once a month. But I think this is what's really fun too, because then you get to be creative. Like I want to do like a 10-day like breathing meditation challenge. And that's like what I would do in that group because it's just lifestyle all in all. But try to do a clean eating once a month.
Awesome. So you got your ongoing free group and then you do like your little like free challenges inside of that free group. You don't start like another group.
No, I'll keep it inside.
Cool. And that's on Facebook. And then, but your challenge group is an ongoing, your real challenge group that people have to pay and buy a challenge pack.
Is on the app.
That one's on the app.
Yeah.
And that's an ongoing group.
Yes. I'm going to do it like for this one is going through August and then there'll be like a fall one and then like a spring.
Cool. What's the name of your lifestyle group on Facebook?
Be bold, be well, be you. I saw it on a graphic tee. I liked it.
That's cool. Very cool. All right. I think that's all the questions we have for you. I thank you for taking the time to hop on here. I know you took some time away from spending time with your family, I think. Oh, no, you're not in Chicago. You're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually like about to go to the airport right now to fly back to Florida.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I'll see you when you get back. And then the rest of you guys will all see each other in Nollins in like a week. So very cool. Delaney, that was awesome. I'm sure you guys will be seeing a lot more of her and her team and Danielle and their team and just really cool stuff happening. So thank you, Delaney, for taking the time to share with us. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Let's give her a little boom on 3 here. All right. Boom on 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Awesome. Love it.
Love you, Delaney.
All right. See you guys.